Here with me today, I have two very exciting entrepreneurs that is talking about something that has been on the lips and the buzzword really over the last week and a half, because I know recently you've been on CBC as well. So now we have the chance to have you right here in person. People have heard you, now they can get to see you. We have the two co-founders of Frank Phone. And I'll say that again, Frank Phone. We have Fahad and we have Mo. They are here to tell us a little bit more about this innovative new platform concept product. Now, if you want to pick up Frank Phone, it's there right next to you. It is an actual phone.
Yes.
And if you want to switch it on for us, it actually
Yeah.
is on and working. So let's talk about this. You guys have taken the time of putting together this new product, and you felt that there was a time and a place and a need to make this happen. So I'm going to start with you, Fahad. Maybe you can share with us a little bit. What is Frank Phone? Why did you believe that there was time to create a phone like this that is both affordable and also caters to a specific market?
That's a great question. So when we first started taking off this venture, we wanted to do a lot of market research to say, where can our product fit? Mo came to me with an idea, and he said, Fad, I can't afford these $1,000 phones, and these cheap phones that are $100 or $200 aren't good enough. Can we create a cheap phone that's good, or make a good phone cheap? And so we set off to see, is there a market of people that want this? And there was kind of three things that we wanted to look at. We looked at the eastern part of the world in China and all that, and we saw a lot more devices being presented to them than we have in North America, where it's almost monopolized with a very few different, owners of devices that are selling to consumers. And we said that long tail effect of business, can we add another brand? Can we add another device that's under there? And then, we kind of looked at trends of consumers and what they're buying, and we saw that more and more people are buying this middle class of phones. People aren't, putting up $1,000 or what is now $1,300 for the brand new phones. They are, looking for phones in that middle range, and more consumers are buying that. So we asked ourselves, can we create a product that can fit right in that middle range? And that's what we set out to do. And so we set out with, a couple designs and a couple ideas of what we would want in the hardware, and we took it to several different manufacturers and looked at, what do they have existing and what can we bring to North America.
Wonderful. Mo, maybe you can answer this for us a little bit. Once again, you touched on that point that you guys said, okay, well, it's time for us to provide something for that middle market as well. So how important is this project for you as a company to say, listen, we want to represent the middle guys. We want to give them a voice literally through our platform.
As Fahad kind of said before, compared to like Asia and the African markets, we have very, very little, a few selections in North America. And these big brands have become so complacent and comfortable that they aren't even trying to compete to lower their prices. And everyone's just become okay with playing these okay, and they want to pay less for their phones, but no one is trying to stand up against these big brands. And we decided that if no one else is going to do it, we might as well, because it's not fair that the rest of the world gets to have all this selection of just products and reduced prices, and North America gets left out of that completely because of these big brands. And we decided we just do it ourselves.
Now, I'm very interested to know, how you guys met, and as you say, he maybe just came to you and said, okay, well, it's time that we do a cheaper phone. So I'm interested to share with us a little bit how you met and how that relationship came to forever, and then, of course, this product now.
So when I was in Carleton University, I started a program with a few buddies called the Hatch Entrepreneurship Program, and it actually helped. It's still running today. It's been running for about 4 years now. It helps foster entrepreneurship at Carleton through students, help them run their business ideas, help coach them through it. And as I was running that and coaching some of the younger students, one of my good friends said, "Hey, I have this young guy that I know from the community who's working on a project. I want you to meet him." And that was Mo. And so I had met Mo, and Mo at the time was actually going to be doing a live pitch to into next gen Dragon's Den for the company that he was running with earlier, which was an hockey apparel company, and he was designing his own stuff. And so, I mean, I ended up helping him with that, and we had a ton of fun. And then he came back to me a little while after and said, "Hey, Fahad, you were a great support, but now I have this other idea, and I want your help, and let's see what we can do." And that's kind of how the relationship developed, and we started diving into, the market research, the marketing. Can we do this? What would it be to financially model this? How can we set it up? And, how should we go about pre-sales? Should we do a crowdfunding campaign? Should we just try and do pre-sales? And we started exploring all that, and it's been a year and a half of exploring the proper business model with the goal of two things: keeping costs low and providing a good quality tech build for consumers. And I think we're here today, and we're excited. I think, in all honesty, we're a lot further than we thought we'd be at some points, and it's been amazing to see the support, the friends and family and the community that have come out and said, go get it, and we love what you're doing, and we love how you're starting and how you're positioning and how you're keeping costs low, and we support you, and so we're really excited about it.
That's awesome.
Now, what's great about having you guys here today is that you just launched your crowdfunding campaign as well, and it's on Indiegogo.
Yes.
So if you're watching this today, we want to remind you it will be within the description associated with this video. It will be there for you to go and check out, and also click on to find out more information about Frankphone.
Yes.
So please take the time to do that, because it just launched, and yes, we want to try and make this happen. I really love what you guys are doing, and we wanted you here because we really believe, once again, this is what entrepreneurship is all about: stepping up there, doing something that everybody knows is necessary, but not necessarily always stepping up and doing it. And maybe talking to that point, why do you think has it not happened that a phone like this has not been mass produced? Why do you think there's such a barrier in companies stepping up and doing this?
I feel like people are afraid, and that's completely fair. Investors aren't looking to invest into a company that's trying to stand up to the likes of Apple and Samsung and LG, because that's suicide, and that's literally what an investor told me. He said it's a suicide project. So
you're still here though, which is pretty awesome. So,
and I think that's fair, but somebody still needs to do it, and we decided that we wanted to, just because we are the little guy, we are the consumers, and we're consumers building phones for consumers, and that's kind of where our angle comes from. And other people won't want to do it just because it's a very, very tough market. Even the big brands from internationally, like Huawei, have tried to come to the North American market, and it's not gone well for them. So if the third largest phone manufacturer in the world couldn't do it, why would two guys from Otto be able to do it, right? But we've decided that it's something that we are really passionate about and wanted to try doing anyways.
You know what? And I love that, because it's more not why, it's why not. And that's pretty much what you've done, yes? And so let's talk about this. It's interesting, and as we said, you'll have the ability to go find out more about Frankphone on Indiegogo, and we will include the link within this description as well, and also within the article. So what I wanted to say to you guys is, you said so yourself, yes, investors, and you said, why go the crowdfunding route instead of, chasing down investors? Because you could have been down in Silicon Valley and trying to get, and we have lots of investors here, even in our vicinity. Why did you decide to go the crowdfunding route?
Well, I mean, one of the big differentiators that we think we have is our ability to foster an audience through our marketing approach, through our frank approach. We wanted to do more than just build a product. We want to build a movement, and we want to build a tech company that, in the long run, stands up for the consumer and stands up for the customer. And to do that, we needed to take a grassroots approach. And so we needed to build a community all the way through. And we felt that taking a crowdfunding approach will allow us to build some of those early supporters, those people who believe in us, who are going to give us their money to help us get started. And then in a year, and 2 years, and 3 years, they're along with us, right? When you get money from an investor, I think it's great to help give you a boost. And I think it's not something we're saying we're not going to do, as we grow. But we wanted to start off by, one, proving the concept so that enough people would join us, and then two, building that grassroots community. As Mo was talking about, there are big brands that have tried to enter this middle market, this lower budget market. You have Huawei, you have Moto, Motorola that has phones out there, but they haven't held a grasp on it yet. And we think we can kind of shake up that space. And we think that, again, our approach, our marketing, our positioning, and the style that we go with will very much attract a lot of customers and consumers. Because they know that we're here cutting our margins, making sure that we're providing a phone as cheap as possible for them. And actually, we don't even use the word cheap internally. We say as fair as possible. You know, I think that's it. That's what people want. They want to know that what they're spending, they're getting quality and a fair price on. And there's not these, 2,000% margins on phones, right? So that's why we want to build a community. And you know what? We are ecstatic about the community that has come out so far. We're 19, almost 20% funded within the first day, a day and a bit. That's over $47,000 funded. People coming in, pouring support, friends, family beyond that, and that's fantastic. That's amazing. It's super encouraging, and we want to thank each and every one of them if they watch this video. Thank you for supporting, and thank you for being there for us and giving us the opportunity, and allowing us to try and raise enough money to be able to make this happen.
Awesome. So once again, if you're listening to this and you're watching this, we are here today with the co-founders of Frank Phone. And yes, you're asking yourself, why Frank Phone and not some strange name that you can barely spell or say, for that matter, sometimes. Why this brand? Why did you think it was so important to just call it Frank Phone?
We wanted our name to encapsulate what we were about, and we thought being simple, to the point, honest about what we're doing is why we chose the name Frank, and that's what we ended up going with, just because as a whole, that's what we're doing as a brand, and that's what we're trying to be. And I think that really encapsulates what we're doing, what our product is about, and why we even started this in the first place. And that's pretty much why we went with Frank.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
You gotta be frank about it. I love it. I think it's so simple, but it's so powerful. And we wanted to also dispel a little bit here. I know you, as you said earlier, that people always have lots of questions, and they are, there's always going to be people that naysayers. Oh, there's always going to be someone that wants to douse your fire for no apparent reason, and some guy that because he likes to post stuff on LinkedIn, he'll do it. But let's be honest. Share with us a little bit. You've had some feedback recently, and I know you guys wanted to address it and use this opportunity to do so. So share with me a little bit. Just your process and what you wanted to kind of dispel on that, some of the comments that you heard back.
Definitely. So some of the comments that we've heard back, some are very interesting. Some as simple as saying, "Oh, this is a scheme just to gather money, and then they're never going to make a phone." We can guarantee you that's not the case. We've put ourselves out there. You know who we are. We're Ottawa locals. We've been here, and we're very passionate about this project. And we've shown, the phone. It exists. It's a real, and then another one was, because we initially had said that we were going to have our crowdfunding project on Kickstarter, and then we decided to switch to go with Indiegogo. And a lot of people saying, "Oh, the switch is because they're a phony," and because Kickstarter takes legitimate companies and Indiegogo doesn't. Or again, a lot of this uproar of honestly baseless comments at times, right? And so we wanted to say that we went with Indiegogo because they reached out to us and they offered us some really good promotional opportunities, and they offered us an opportunity to work with their Aero certification, which allows us to better working with our manufacturers. So and the support and consultation that they've given us so far has been much more than I thought we would get, right? And so we made that switch because of that, and it was an honest and an opportunity that we thought we'd take. And then the last one has been that some people have gone to Alibaba and looked at the manufacturers that we work with, and have seen manufacturers have the phone model mold that we have out there on Alibaba and different things. And what we've said from the beginning is that this isn't a phone that was designed from scratch. We designed what we thought would be a good phone, and then we looked to try and find to match it with manufacturers and who can help us make this into a reality. To build our own mold would have costs hundreds and thousands of dollars from scratch, and our goal was to keep costs as low as possible. And so we found a manufacturer that has been willing to customize certain things for us, willing to work with us. We've upgraded certain parts of the phone, certain parts of the hardware. We're doing our own quality assurance testing to make sure that it works well. We're making sure that it works with all the North American carriers, and we have those listed on our Indiegogo page. And so in our attempt to keep costs as low as possible, some people have kind of turned that around, saying that, "Oh, you're not the real makers of the phone." And no, Mo and I are not at home hammering away making the phone. No, we are entrepreneurs that as we said in our message, we wanted to cut out the middleman, go straight to the manufacturers, and bring this product to our consumers and to people through e-commerce and through crowdfunding, and that's what we hope to do, and we hope people will see through that.
Yeah, no, I love that. So thank you very much for. I think that means a lot, and it speaks to the credibility of what you guys are trying to do here. Is that you're very upfront and very frank about what you do, and it's such a pertinent name. I love it. So thank you very much for stepping up. I think part of the whole process and part of addressing that is being a part of this and being out there, as you say, in the community. You know who these guys are. You know that they are working to create something that's really, once again, supportive of a community, and that's what you're doing. And I see that as this is a community product. This is what this is, not really just us. It's we, So I really love you guys stepping up here. Thank you so much for sharing more. And I'm going to ask one more question. I mean, we could talk about this all day long. And once again, reminder for you, there will be a description. In the description, there will be a link to the Indiegogo page, so you can go find out more. What's the after this, after the crowdfunding campaign? Let's say you raise all the funds that you need to do. Great, the phones are out there. What's the next step?
Well, in terms of other projects to work on, we think Frank isn't just going to be a one-shot sort of deal. We have tons and tons of things we would love to work on, and obviously we want to improve Frank, and based off the feedback that we get on the initial product and based off what people have been telling us, we are definitely going to improve Frank and take all that feedback into consideration. And we'd love to work on other projects as well with Frank, and expand to other products and other markets that people would like us in. And we'd kind of like not just the mobile market, but the tech market and tech industry as a whole. There is a big market available there for this sort of low price, high spec sort of device, and we'd love to be able to expand further into that.
Awesome. If I can just add, no, for sure. I think what we always say is that Frank isn't a product or a company; it's a movement. It's a movement that is symbolized by the democratization of technology, in that two young guys here in Ottawa can work with manufacturers in China to bring and deliver a high-tech product to a different consumer group. That democratization, that openness of our economy has allowed for more entrepreneurs to excel. And what it will hopefully create in this Frank movement is that more and more consumers will question how much these big guys are actually making, what these big guys are gouging them for $1,300 for a piece of technology that's being made in the same factories, right? And so that movement, getting people, we're not going to get everyone to buy our phone, and that's never, the deal. There's even some of my own siblings are like, but I love my iPhone. I say, be you, love your iPhone, but question them and ask them and show that the customer is reacting to these big guys, because at the end of the day, customer trends and customer demands is what should be driving pricing and is what should be driving the new evolution of technology.
Awesome. Thank you so much for putting that in perspective for us. And once again, thank you so much for taking the time today and sharing about this new technology. So thank you for watching us. Thank you very much for listening to this today. Go on to our website at techopia.ca to get more information. We'll have an article coming up soon. Go and check out these guys at the link associated with the description, associated with this video. And we want to say thank you once again to KRP Properties, which is where we are today, which once again is so associative of what you guys are trying to do. This organization has done so much for tech in this industry as well, and they are so much more than space, and they're such a collaborative team that is encouraging tech. So that's why we love doing it here, love having it on Techopia, and thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having us.
Take care, guys. Thank you, guys.